Hello friends, and welcome to another custom action figure video. Today's going to be a fun one, something totally different than what I usually do on the channel. I'm going to be building a little diorama for these guys. I got these recently, I saw that they were coming out. These are the new Jakks Pacific Simpsons figures. And, totally different than what is normally in my collection. Usually it's like very realistic stuff. But I love The Simpsons. I'm a 90s kid. I grew up watching it 2 episodes a day, every weekday for a good chunk of my life. And when I saw these Jakks Pacific figures were coming out, I was like, I gotta get them. They're cheap, they're great, they're fun, nice pop of color on the shelves. And I put them in this detolf here, and I have one of the Playmates like little diorama things that's gonna go behind them, but I was like, they need something more than that. So I decided to make their living room. It's been a while since I've done a diorama on the channel, and I thought this would be fun, so we're gonna knock this out real quick. So let's go over to the workbench, take a look at the supplies, and then we'll get into it. So the first thing I did was go to the craft store, and I spent 10 bucks to get this stuff here that you see, aside from that piece of pink insulation foam on the side. That's what I'm going to be using to make the base out of and the wall. I have a bunch of that already on hand from past projects and that kind of stuff. So, but you get that at Home Depot. If you're in Australia, they have it at Bunnings Warehouse, I believe. I don't know about other countries, but those are the 2 that I know. So shout out to the Australian viewers. And I got some felt to make their rug. And then that big rectangle of pink there is actually construction paper. I was trying to find something to use, and I didn't want to paint, because it just so happened that when I flipped it to the back, it was the exact color of the wall that I was looking for. So that was perfect. And then in the scrapbooking section, I found this sheet of this kind of like teal color, which pretty much perfectly matches the color of their floor. And then the rest I'm gonna be making out of random scraps of stuff I have. Their little painting. I'll have to make a frame out of balsa wood. So we'll look at those supplies as I go. And I only spent 10 bucks to get this stuff, so I like that it's on the cheap, and it's gonna make it a lot faster. All right, so I've already cut out a base piece of the pink foam, and I have painted the edges black just so it looks nice. This is just black acrylic paint, super cheap stuff. And then I cut a piece of the carpet paper to be the exact same size as the base here. So that is going to be what everything sits on. So next I'm going to make the rug, and I've just taken a piece of scrap paper here, and it's kind of hard to see because this is like, reused paper here. But I've drawn out the outline of the carpet. I just took a couple action figure stands and traced them so I'd have a nice round edge. And then I took a smaller one, did the same thing, connected them with straight lines. Now, one thing that is going to be a little bit challenging with this is I can't stack all these up because it's just going to be like too thick, right? If I have 4 layers of this, it's going to be like probably, I don't know, a centimeter thick almost. And that's just, they're not going to be able to stand on it properly. I'm going to have to cut the outline piece and then do an insert and an insert and an insert. And that can be tough to get exact, so I'm gonna have to figure out some kind of template situation with this so that there's no like gaps in between the different layers or the different colors. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. All right, so here we got the carpet done, and it's not perfect, but I'm happy with it. This illustrates why I didn't want to just stack the layers. So you can see like how 3-dimensional it looks when it's like this versus when they're all kind of nested within each other. And it came out pretty good in terms of the gapping. It's not too bad. I'm gonna glue this paper down to this foam and put a book on it, a couple heavy books. You got to be careful when you do that, because when you introduce like a liquid glue to something like this, the paper can buckle and stuff, and so you got to weigh it down and flatten it out. But usually when it dries, it smooths back out anyway, so we're just gonna try to avoid that as much as we can. All right, a little update here. It's super messy because that's what always happens during projects, but some progress. So rug is done, flooring's done. I got the back piece added. I just hot glued it. I used to do magnets on these, but I'm not gonna need to like collapse them for anything. I learned to make this kind of diorama from Al Figures, which is a great channel for this kind of stuff. And he always magnetizes everything. And I used to, and then I realized that like he was mailing them to people, so they needed to be flat packed and stuff. Mine live in my house. They're not going anywhere. So I figured it's okay to glue things and make them more permanent. So I used the paper on the wall, and I actually had a shade of the construction paper that was perfect for this trim piece. So rather than using like balsa wood and painting it, I just went the quickest route, the easiest route, and I just adhered some of this paper to a strip of cardboard. which is this right here. And then, you know, it's mostly going to be behind the couch anyway, so I'm not worried about it being perfect. Now that this is done, I'm moving on to the lamp. And this is the kind of stuff I love to make the most. So this base is actually from this little LED lamp. It's like a 1/6 scale desk lamp that I got online. Apparently people find these at the dollar store or the Dollar Tree or something. I've never seen one there in my times that I've gone to look for one, but I've used this as like a street lamp before. It's another tip I learned from Al's Figures. And it has this little base piece, and it was perfect for this lamp. On the show, it's actually in the center where the pole comes out of, but I like the offset. This isn't exactly accurate to the way it looks on the show, but it's close enough. And this is a piece of Build-A-Straw that I also learned about from Al's Figures. This is what he makes like pipes and like gutter stuff out of. And then I used a styrene rod, and it wasn't quite big enough, so I used some hot glue to just fill in this area here. Anytime there's an opening that's too big, I fill it with hot glue, and that always works. So then this piece, I was like, how am I going to tackle that curved thing? I thought about heating up this kind of styrene and bending it. And then I was digging through my box of just random stuff where I keep all the junk that I use for dioramas. And I had this like clear tubing. I don't know what this is from, but it was sitting in there. So I put some jewelry wire, this like bendable craft wire in there. And then again, hot glue to fill the gap. And then these little discs you can get at the craft store, and I have a whole bunch of them. So I made the wire extend down through the discs, and the discs are going to act as like the body for the lamp. And then I have some corrugated paper that I'm going to fold around the edge of it. So there's that. And then the couch I'm going to be making out of just like scraps of this same insulation foam. So we're going on to TV for this, and I'm using this little black jewelry box type of thing, a little cardboard box. I actually got a head sculpt came in this that I bought. I took a piece of just this kind of clamshell, you know, action figure style packaging. I don't remember what this was from, but it was like the exact right size for this box. So I just cut it, you know, it was longer. So I cut it. I printed out this little itchy and scratchy image, and I have it kind of like, I put these little wooden dowels in here to kind of support it. You know, just kind of making it up as I go, really. I didn't really have a plan. I was just like, okay, what do I have? What can I use? So that sits in there like this, roughly. I made this bezel out of styrene, painted it black, and that'll actually be like kind of a dark bluish purple color. And I think actually it fits better like this. Glue all this in place once everything's painted. One thing I forgot to do is there are dials here and then a little speaker thing. I'm not going to go to the trouble of like, this would need to be rectangular for that to work. And if I bumped it over and made everything smaller, then I'd have a bottom piece to contend with that doesn't really fit. So I'm just going to leave it like this. You know, we're going to be seeing it from the back the whole time anyway. This is just kind of a fun little thing to put in there because it is going to go like in a diorama like this. But I am going to make the little antenna setup. I might put like kind of a, there's like a thing on the back in some of the images I've seen of this. I don't know what to call it, but it's maybe where the neck of the TV, of the CRT monitor goes, you know? And I'm thinking for that, I'm going to use something like one of these plastic ramekins, and I think I have a smaller one if I can find it, and stick it on the back like that. And then I've cut some little legs for it, and I cut some holes in the bottom, so these will stick up in there. Once this is painted and the lamp is done, then I have another little end table, a lamp, and a couch. So this thing is actually taking a lot more time than I thought it would, but you know, I do this to myself, so here we go. So I was digging around in my fodder bin for something for the back of the TV, and I found this. I saved this from the neck of an olive oil bottle, and then this was on here like that. So I cut that off, and this is a pretty good size to go back here, but I don't want that kind of like little spoke thing, obviously. But again, I have these little wooden discs from the craft store, and one of those fits perfectly right in there. I'm gonna glue that on, and then and this actually gives me a lip too to glue onto the back of this, so that's gonna work out pretty well. Okay, got these parts spray painted. So next up, I'm going to be mixing some acrylic paints and painting them how I want them to look. Now, I actually have some of these like really bright colors that I bought several years ago that I used for one project and haven't touched since. So I'm happy to have these very bright ones that, you know, mixing these is going to allow me to make the right colors for, you know, the kind of like magenta and the purplish color of the TV and stuff. So I'll get to mixing and doing some painting, and I'm excited to see these things kind of come to their final form here. All right, time to build the couch. So here's the rough version, and I wanted it, it's a little small because I wanted them to be able to actually sit on it in case I want to change up the display. So I used Homer here and articulated him to make sure. And basically the size of the couch is needs to be 3 Homers wide. So, you know, not counting his arm. So yeah, I got it roughly laid out. So the next step will be to sand all the pieces and then gluing it together. So I have the cushions defined, but I'm going to need to sand the edges. For sanding this stuff, I use a trap box that I made. So basically I took a big plastic clear container from IKEA and I cut holes in it for my hands. And then I run a vacuum hose into it and then I sand. That way I'm not breathing in these particles and stuff. And I always wear a mask when I do this kind of stuff. I think it's just smart. I don't know how dangerous or not this stuff is, but I don't want to find out 10 years from now. So I always take extra precautions. All right, couch is all put together and sanded down. Not perfect, but it's The Simpsons, so it should be a little messed up probably. Yeah, this material is just really easy to gouge, so I did a lot of sanding. I couldn't quite get that little blemish to go away, but we'll see if I can't fill it in with some paint. But yeah, pretty simple. I used some little enamel dots for the buttons and then just kind of made some crease lines with a stylus tool, and yeah, it's ready for paint. So I'm going to do a mixture of this raw sienna color and make a little bit of orange to go in there with it. No special paint, just what I have on hand. So I'm sitting here, I decided to wing this little end table out of just some foam board. And then for the phone, I actually found this in a bin of my sister's old Barbie stuff that my mom gave me. I don't think it's even from a Barbie thing. I think it's Fisher Price or Play School or something, but I was trying to figure out what to make the lamp out of. I couldn't quite find something that was the right shape. The lamp looks almost like a big wine bottle. I found this Barbie mustard bottle. It's not really the right shape, but it'll do. I mean, it's just a little kind of background piece. So I'm gonna have to cut a hole in the top of that and then make a lampshade for it. So yeah, I'll figure that out as I go too. But here's a quick little look at the drawing I did for the painting going above the couch. And then here it is after I painted it. I just used basic acrylics on a piece of little cardboard here. And then you can see the frame that I made up there on the left. That's just balsa wood from the craft store that I had in a drawer, and I painted it the color to match the way the frame looks on the show. And here's the final diorama, and this is just really fun. It was really fun to make. You know, as I mentioned, everything I do is trying to be as realistic as I can make it, and this was just an opportunity to kind of let loose and you know, I was working within different constraints. They were still constraints for sure, but it was just $10 worth of materials plus some stuff I had laying around. And we have a Simpsons Living Room. It was a fun challenge. I've never had to mix paint colors like this before. And I've never had to think about making something that looks cartoony but also tangible. And I had to really resist my impulses. I really wanted to, you know, what if I used real fabric on the couch? And what if I painted Homer to look like he had real skin but it was still yellow and real stubble, you know? And I was like, no, that's not the point of this. The point of this is to make it look like the version that you love from the show. I think it was successful. I'm really happy about it. Here's a look at the TV, and you can see the screen has itchy and scratchy on it there. You know, I love making prop stuff, so the TV was probably the most fun I had, the TV and the lamp. So here's the whole family. You know, it's funny because every time there's something that I'm not super happy with, you know, that end table, I should have used different material. It's you can see the foam, but who cares, right? Because once you get the actual figures in there, you don't really pay as much attention to the background. That's exactly what it is. It's the background. You know, you're looking at the characters, which is what you have the connection with. So yeah, end of the day, I'm really pleased with this. Just a really fun deviation from my normal thing. And fun thing about this is it's something most people could do. You know, I just needed some simple supplies, a hard surface to adhere the, you know, paper to. You could use cardboard or a yard sign if you want. I've done that before. I have a video about that on the channel. Now here's a look at it in the detail where it's going to live. And yeah, just a nice pop color on the shelf. Now above that is the comic book store diorama play set thing from Playmates from 2020. I picked that up. I also have the arcade coming. That's going to go on the right there. And I'm just using the boxes from a couple of the figures to actually make the little platform, the risers for them to stand on. But that is the Jakks Pacific Bart variant with the blue shirt. I was initially going to do like a Simpsons arcade kind of Dio where they're like on the street, you know, like in the game. But I ended up going with this. I might do that down the line, but this I actually thought was going to be a little more fun for me to make and a little more time and cost effective. So yeah, excited to have some Simpsons representation in my display. This DTOF is kind of all my nostalgia stuff, more of like the stuff I had growing up that I had to reacquire, like Ninja Turtles and things like that. So I'll be doing a collection tour very soon on the channel. I know I keep saying that, but it's coming. Did a lot of work to kind of redo things so that it would be a better video overall, and this is part of that. So this is in my office where I work all day, and so I actually can see this from where I'm sitting at my desk, which is nice. You have a direct line of sight to colorful, fun, happy stuff that brings me joy. So I'm grateful for that. So that's going to wrap this one up. I would invite you to subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this kind of stuff. And obviously, you know, liking the video helps other people find it, find the channel, etc. In the description down below, there are links to my graphic novels that I have available. I'm a full-time comic book writer and artist, and I would love for you to check out some of my books. There are also trailers on the channel. But yeah, stick around. I mean, if you like figures and figure reviews and custom figures and dioramas and figure vehicles, I got all kinds of stuff on the channel I'd love for you to check out. So that's going to do it for this one. Until next time, keep your head on swivel.